Hi guys, I'm your recovery coach, and we're going to record a video called $10 Club Training. And we will be doing this training for little boys and girls, and we are going to teach kids what is the problem with addiction. Because if you do not understand, everybody says something is good or bad, but we have no idea why, right? So, what I'm going to teach you is three things you need to know why addiction is good or bad. You make your decision because the more you understand, the more you will know what to do, right? So, the first thing I'm going to teach you is that we all have a compass inside us. The inner compass is called guilt. So when we do anything that is not correct, this compass gets stuck, and that's why we say we feel guilty. So, like for example, when I was a kid, I stole a quarter from my uncle, and I was wicked anxious, and I never wanted to do it again. But what happens when you do the drug or alcohol or anything that masks your normal thinking, then the compass gets stuck. So because the compass is stuck, you have no idea whether you're doing the right or wrong thing. So that's the first problem. And let's figure out why we chose $10 Club. The $10 clubs, the significance is $10 have different partition. It comes with 5 different houses inside it, and each house has an exact replica of the original house. So when kids go to school, right, everybody has a separate house, mom and dad, different rules. And then they go to school, and what happens? The rule is all mixed because one kid has one rule from his home, the other kid has another rule from her home. So when you have a mixture, it gets very confusing. So the compass already is like swinging wicked fast, and when it gets stuck, it's very tough to get unstuck. So the first thing that happens is you end up trusting people, and if in case they have already a stuck compass, it's tough to process it. So we need to first figure out what is right and wrong, and at that time it's very important not to get your compass stuck. So the first thing, okay? So first thing is to understand, do not do something that's going to get your compass stuck. And like the $10, once you get stuck, the next process is to figure out how to get unstuck, right? That's the next lesson. I'm going to record the next slide next. So this is School of $10. They are on the bottom of the ocean, just like you kids. You're at your school, and usually getting into trouble is error on friendship, meaning like you trust the group you're in because at home the rules are so strict. So addiction is an issue of friendship, and the friendship that starts innocent, but at the same time, if in case somebody is making a mistake, somebody would be strong enough to speak up. So this is where the courage part comes in. So getting into trouble, getting your compass stuck is not the problem. To unstuck, somebody needs to become a hero. So somebody has to be like a big bird, go very strong and be loud and speak the truth. And even if people make fun of you, you need to say, I do not want to do this and walk away. And that takes courage. The reason is once you get stuck, there are 2 ways people process the stuckness. One is by acting. The people who act out are especially very loud, and they'll say what they say in a very strong voice, even if it is incorrect. The other group are reactors, meaning like they don't want anybody to yell at them, so they'll react and they'll do the wrong thing because they do not know anything better. So you don't want to be the actor, or you don't want to be the reactor. You want to be in the middle and say, you know what, I personally do not want to be in this project, and you want to move on. Okay, that is the second thing to understand about addiction, because it's very easy to get into trouble. But I have remembered but when, like, when some children get into trouble, including me, when you make the first mistake, you say, oh, I made one mistake, might as well break all the other rules. But you have to stop somewhere, because if you do not stop, again, two processes happens. One is, if you understand something is right and wrong and you made a mistake, then they give you allowance by giving you a bigger timeout. If you understand something is right and wrong and still went ahead and do the mistake and break the law, then it would be a punishment that's a little severe than just the timeout, okay? That's the second thing to understand about drug and addiction. So the last process is, so the first goal, like I said, is stuck compass. We call it in recovery coaching motivation. Like, what is your goal? What motivates you? The second, stuck thinking, is coping. Remember how I said about reaction and action and being in the middle and speaking your truth, which has to be loud and clear. And it doesn't mean it has to be sound. It has to be acted out in a way that's like very, very strong so that you don't get tempted. And the third one is when nobody's looking. What are you thinking when are you looking in the mirror? What is going on inside you? So that's what activates, like, most of the feelings inside, because thought is what creates the feelings. And when you feel good, you keep doing that. But when you feel bad, you want to change that. And the feelings get carried into action. That's why people say, I act out. Don't ever get mad, get odd, do something totally weird so that people laugh rather than, like, getting even or getting mad, okay? That'll be a little bit healthier. But anyway, when you act out your feelings, know if you're acting out in a good way, the thought you created initially is good. If in case you're acting out in a way that's not good, then the thought has to be shifted. So that is where the teaching comes in. It's called skills training, where we teach you how to train your mind to think differently, so that, like, when you're having a big tree, you just cut little branches so that you'll have more light on one place. So it's called pruning. And so when somebody calls somebody a loser, then you say, hey, he didn't know any better. So, or like, if somebody says you are stupid, you just rephrase it for them and say, you know what, yes, I need to learn more. So just don't label in a way that's very painful. Instead, use skills word that is not painful. So when you do this inner compass thing to get it unstuck, and the second thing is to understand how to act, react, and third thing is unspeak the truth, of course. And the third thing is to change your thinking so that you develop good skills. You will be able to overcome any challenges in life. So we'll go one by one in future and record a video. And all these three would be the place where we'll balance life, okay? So that's when we'll bring it back to your compartment inside the $100 Club, which is your family, and you train them so that you can raise them too indirectly. You can raise your mom and dad, because you would be the change they are looking for in their life. So that being said, every week I'll be recording a video, and I hope you can record a response video for me and post it, and we'll keep this dialogue going. I love you all. Have a good day. Bye-bye.